Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And in tonight's episode, I am here with,
Zoom the Barbarian.
and he is playing his warrior today. Now, what level did you get to?
I am level 7.
And I'm a level 7 shaman. We're not really going to be hunting on this level per se. We are going to be earning quite a bit of experience, but we're going to do that by going over to Caladan and turning in our Crushbone belts. We did get quite a bit of those being powered level the other night inside Crushbone. We probably won't stay over here for too much longer. We kind of wanted to come over here and check it out. We may see if we can find some groups, but then eventually we're going to head back over to Blackborough because I think that's kind of a unique zone that really doesn't get shown off very well. But because we are over here and we have all these belts, I wanted to show you guys just how much experience you can get over here, which is why most people will make the trip. Is just because the experience is so easy in Crushbone. You get that experience bonus for being in that zone. You also get the chance at the belts and the Lego shoulder pads. And you were saying you actually have one of those, right?
I do have one pair of shoulder pads, yes.
One pair or just one?
Yeah, just I think I either have two or one. I'm pretty sure that I have one, but I might have two, but I'm not sure. Let me check my inventory.
Because if you only have one, you can't really turn in the quest. If you have two, that's how many you need to do that.
I have two.
Okay,
I have
okay.
two.
Then you can turn that in at least and see how much experience you get off of it. Now the shoulder pads are going to give you so much more experience than the belts will, but the shoulder pads don't drop nearly as often as the belts do. So you may find it's still easier for you to, and for those of you who are not familiar with where we're running right now, if we come over here, this is a dead end, so you really don't want to go down this path. You want to kind of just bypass it. It will lead you to some places in this zone where you can kind of come over here and kill. But, I mean, for the purposes of getting over to Caladan, you got to travel through Greater Fadar. And one of the things about this zone is, if you're not familiar with it, if you're going to travel the path like I'm showing you right here, you're technically going to run all the way around this entire zone in a very large circle in the wrong direction coming from Crushbone. Like, it would have been easier for you to leave Crushbone and take a right and follow the wall. It would get you there faster. And you'll see that over here is the High Elf City. It is raining and it is very foggy, so the clipping plane is rather short. But that's just part of the game, as Thum is figuring out here. He's not really accustomed to... maybe we can kill this thing. It's only yellow. You want to try it, the Will-O-Wisp?
Hold on just a second.
Because it is... it does give you a chance at getting a light stone, and I believe the greater light stones actually are for a quest that you can either sell to other players,
Yeah, let's take them.
or you can sell to a vendor, which is what Thune did a little while ago. How much did you get for it?
For the light stone, I got 4 platinum, over 4 platinum, which I was really happy with.
Plus, it actually provides light to your character. So if you're going through a very dark zone, say Lesser Fadar, which is just right around the corner, you might want to have a little bit extra light on you because it does get very, very hard to see things in some zones when it turns nightfall. Other zones, it's not so bad, and I'm not quite sure what the reasoning behind that is, but it is one of the hazards. You know, some zones it rains all the time, and so the clipping plane is very, very low, and you can't really see that far in front of you because of the rain. Other zones, it's constantly dark. Burning Woods, I believe, was one of those zones that it wasn't too difficult to see in unless it started to rain. And once it started to rain, oh my god, that's one of the things my brother would constantly do when he was over there with his druid was cast that one spell that gets rid of the rain. I think it cost a pearl to use. You played a druid back in the day.
Yeah, I think it is a pearl, yeah. But I never used it. I never used that spell ever. Even when I got it, it wasn't one of the spells I was interested in.
Because it costs so much. Like, a pearl was not
cheap.
Yeah,
it was like 150. I think it was 150 plat or something like that for a pearl, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I always like the Burning Woods. And the reason I like the Burning Woods is because it's one of those zones when you're running through all the trees at the beginning of the thing, you're always going to get surprised by something. And I like that. I mean, if you're in Burning Woods, hopefully you're big enough level or strong enough to where you can handle those surprises. But the trees are so thick at the beginning of the zone that you will be surprised. You will get jumped. And I just, for some reason, I really enjoyed that about the zone.
You like the challenge, man. I think that's what
Yeah.
this whole game is all about. Is it challenged you in a lot of ways that weren't very obvious, but then when you go back and play other games, you're like it's missing something, and you can't really quite put your finger on it. But so many little details like that. My brother used to love hunting over there in the Burning Woods, and I never really spent that much time there. But hearing you talk about it is kind of interesting. It's almost like you built up your skill level to be able to go there because there were so many surprises.
Oh yeah, my druid loved it. My cleric, however, did not. My cleric was, I mean, he didn't mind so much the undead gorillas and stuff like that, but the rest of the mobs would just plaster him. They just kill the crap out of him because, he's clerics are pretty decent against undead, but against other mobs, they are just very not so at all.
Well,
So I learned to use root a lot and run as fast as I could in that zone with my cleric. But now my druid, he loved it. He had tracking and everything, so he ate Burning Woods up.
yeah, that's kind of what you have to do as a cleric if you get attacked out in the middle of nowhere when you're traveling from one zone to another. You just put root on it and hope and pray that you can run faster than it can, even once root breaks. Because sometimes, I kid you not, you are so slow as a cleric, and maybe it was just because my guy was always overweight, but I don't think that was the case. I think towards the end there, I didn't really have to worry about weight too much, but he was so slow that I would root targets, keep running, and maybe it's because you can't really always take a direct path to where you're going in certain zones that he could just cut across, and he would meet you there. He would be coming from the other direction. I'm like, how in the world? And you try to root him again, you take a big hit, and it just became this like nightmare scenario where you get so close to the zone entrance and then you die, and you got to make that entire run all over again, which is, it's funny to look at it back now, and remember some of those horrible times where it was just such a pain and you had to go and get help with it and stuff like that. But now that I'm playing again and I remember those days, I'm like, I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm not really, because it is such a pain to do. But do you have any really horrible corpse run memories from the old days?
I had one where I was stuck in the wall, but I didn't know that, and so I couldn't find anybody. It was late at night. I couldn't find anybody to come help me with the corpse run because it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was in Sol B, and we were having, the group broke up. It was one of those times when the group broke up, and basically they left my cleric on his own. And, I died twice trying to get back to my corpse. Finally, on the second time that I died, I saw that he was his foot was hanging out of the wall. And I couldn't drag him. I couldn't corpse him or anything like that. So finally, I got the petition. And they gave me a res. They resed me twice for both of my deaths. And they got all my stuff back. So I was really happy with the GMs on that. But I was really frustrated and really angry because I think I spent like 2 hours trying to even get to the point to where I saw that I couldn't get my corpse back, that it was bugged. So.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty harsh. That's one of the things I've talked about on a few videos. I haven't really talked about it too often, and I probably should talk about it more, is don't ever leave your group in such a manner that you leave somebody behind, especially the tank, because he doesn't get gate. You may not even realize that if you're playing this game for the very first time, and you're like, oh, as my cleric, I get gate, and my wizard, I get gate. So everybody just, has it, is what you're thinking. No, that's not the case at all. Is this guy going to attack us? I don't think he is. It's another player, isn't it?
No, that's yeah. Oh, I've never seen that guy before. What is he?
I don't know. He's threateningly.
Oh, he's dubious. You want to fight him?
I don't know what he's there for. I mean, yeah, if you don't mind messing up your faction, I don't know if that.
Well, he's an ogre, so how is he going to give us?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's try it out. Let's see if we can do it. He may hit like a Mack truck. Who knows?
Yeah. And he seemed to be okay with the dwarves too, so I don't know. This could be a mistake, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna check it out.
Did you shoot him with your arrow?
I did.
How much are you doing on that nowadays?
About 10 points of damage. 9 usually.
It's not a bad little hit to get off right off the bat before he can even hit you.
I like it. This new bow is really working out for me.
Now, how much did you pay for that bow? It was like 15.
It was like three platinum, I think. 3 platinum,
really?
and it had a range of 100 feet on it. So it was a really nice upgrade.
Now that was over there in Rivervale, right?
Yes, in Surefall Glades.
Surefall Glades, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've looked at, the Dark Elf City, and I've looked at the High Elf City. I don't remember ever seeing any bows over there, so you may actually have to travel all the way over there if you want to buy the same one he has. Although ZK was telling you get a pretty decent one for about 200 platinum.
Yep, true that.
It's a little bit too high for us at this level. 200 platinum
Alright.
is pretty much all the money we will make from like level 1 to level 20, unless of course you're spending more time to try to earn cash by selling Crushbone bells or something along those lines.
You know, I like ogres. I'm actually kind of feeling a little bit bad about this.
Hey, it was your idea. So let's see, we got
Oh, look, we got his head.
worst faction from Clerg, the Kraken Warriors,
Yeah,
the
those are
Green
all.
Blood Knights got better, and the Orc Warriors got worse.
So the ogres hate us even more than they already. Yeah, we're killing sight in Overland anyway, so I'm not sure that was such a bad faction hit at all.
More item, no trade. You know what? We're gonna pick that up and we're gonna put it in our freezer because this guy's a sicko. Right? We're gonna make our barbarian
What?
a serial killer. I don't know. That's just weird.
Okay.
It's just weird. Like, what kind of quest do we need somebody's head for? That is just messed up. Like, we're carrying around somebody's dead, severed head in our backpack right now. Did they think about that when you're like throwing yourself into like the roleplay aspect of this? Like, somebody would have to explain to them that I have a dead, severed head in my backpack, and I hope it's dead. But you just never know in fantasy games.
Let's kill a skeleton. He's scowling at me. Right? Whoa! Something that just attacked me. Oh, here we go. Okay,
Oh,
this
another
guy was like, "Hey, I want to join the party."
Now he heard you talking bad about his brother, and he was like, "You're about to go over there and beat on him. I got to do something
Go
about that."
down. I'm gonna save my brother.
Or
My skelly
maybe
brother.
he just saw me cut that guy's head off, and he's like, "That guy, woo."
Well, yeah.
Right. I need to go over there and stop that guy. Because just because he's a skeleton doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
That's one of the most iconic sounds in any game is that skeleton laugh. I love that laugh.
That, and if you hear like the background noise in the zone, the animals kind of chirping and moaning. I remember sitting in forest like that and just hearing that in the background for hours. You don't really hear those iconic sounds in other video games as much nowadays. I see a lot of time they make like one or two different background noises, and they just kind of rinse and repeat them over and over again.
So I wonder why my sense heading isn't working, man. I bet I've got a file that's broken or that didn't download properly or something like that, because my sense heading just refuses to go up in skill at all, period.
I don't see that being a file on your end, because if that was the case, then you could alter that file somehow and cheat in the game without them even knowing about it, and that seems too easy. Like, it seems like they would have, if not Project 99 fixed that, it seemed like Sony would have fixed that themselves, so I don't think that should be the case.
Look, it's a little dwarf guy running around. We should go say hey.
Oh, you know what? We can go ahead and buff him up. Let's put some stuff on him. Nope, wouldn't take hold. I wonder what class he is. Probably a paladin.
He looks like he's a cleric. He's blue to me too, so.
At least I can give him some dexterity, some agility, and some strength. Those shouldn't get resisted.
Weblets. I like dwarves. I'm gonna make a dwarven paladin, man.
That's what I have, man. I have a dwarven
paladin. I think that I'm going to make one.
I guess he's okay. I mean, I like him. He's different. He's really different compared to the other classes that I've played, because he can heal himself and he's a tank, and it's weird because I've ingrained myself for so many years with my cleric saying, you're not a tank, don't do it, you can heal. And so now that I'm playing a class that can heal and tank, it's throwing me off greatly. So.
Well, now he's much more of a tank than he is a healer, right?
Who, the paladin?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, he can heal pretty good at the level that he's at. That may change dramatically at higher levels, but I don't remember it actually being that bad. Like, I remember in certain groups, if you had a awesome tank and a paladin would join and some of the other classes were taking hits, like the wizards and stuff, the paladin would occasionally go ahead and toss some heals on them, and it healed them up. It wasn't like a small, stupid little heal, like, why are you even wasting the power? It's only giving them like 3%. It would do like 15-20%, which is pretty good at that level. Not nearly as good as a cleric, but It can hold its own.
I seem to remember on a raid one time that a paladin was backup healing me, and I think he had superior heal or something like one step below that, and he was doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on
Oh,
his armor, I guess. Superior Heal is a pretty high level spell for a cleric,
now I could
and
be
it.
mistaken. It might have been the one below that, but
No,
he
I
was.
mean, it could have been
Uh,
that one. I mean, Greater Heal, I think, is the one right below that. Really, probably
yeah,
wouldn't have done jack on a raid. Superior Heal would have. The downside to the Superior Heal is it uses more power than the Complete Heal, and it doesn't heal nearly as much, but it does heal faster. So for a Paladin, he doesn't really have a choice. He doesn't have a Complete Heal. There's nothing he can do about that. But for the Cleric, he's always going to be able to out heal that. But again, as long as the Paladin has a lot of power and he's not doing anything else with it, he might be able to cast 4 or 5 superior heals in a raid, and that could make somewhat of a difference depending on how, how much you guys are taking hits.
I like Butcher Block, man. We should probably go over to the chess table after we get done turning in,
Oh
because I
yeah,
think that
yeah,
yeah, I think that would be decent experience for us.
yeah.
Maybe I could be mistaken, but I think.
No, I think you're right because the chessboard, I went over there with my Paladin at level, I think it was 9, and he was just too low to take him on by himself. But with the two of us, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get level 8, maybe even level 9 out of our belts over here, because you get a lot of experience for that.
Yeah,
So
with this sword I have too, man. I think we'd have I don't know what kind of weapons your paladin had, but this sword is just nuts, dude.
he
I'm
had a pretty
telling
good
you.
one. I think he had, what was it? I can't think of the name now, but he has a really good sword, and then he has banded armor, so he was taking the hits rather well. It's just, with one guy, you're not doing nearly enough damage. Plus, he really couldn't heal himself and attack at the same time. He'd be sacrificing almost as much life as he would gain from the heal, just sitting there taking it during the battle. So with the two of us, I think we won't have too much of a problem.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds like a fun time. I like the chessboard too.
I never really hunted there too much back in the day. That was always one of my older brothers who actually had a paladin. He would come over here, and he never really got too high in the game. I think he got to level 20 something, and I was always feeding him armor that I would get from like Lower Guck and stuff. I think there was some really good pants that dropped there at one time, and
Yeah,
I got
flowing black silk slash, man. The
I never
haste,
got one of those from there. I had to
so
buy it for my
nice.
Shadow Knight.
Ah, I'd love to have one of those. As a warrior, haste is going to be an important stat for me.
Is it? I mean, I know when you get to a higher level, you're gonna want more AC than anything else, just because you're taking the hits.
Well, with your weapons, the faster you hit, the more damage you're going to do. The easier it is for me to keep aggro from wizards who cast too early.
I guess, but I guess that's a really delicate balance to strike is how fast you can attack, and then of course how well you can take the hits from the actual attacks.
Oh yeah, AC is definitely what you want, and hit point. I mean stamina. Where'd you go? Oh, there you
There
are.
you go.
Okay.
So it's this guy right over here,
Okay.
Nezbek, and you can give him one belt at a time, or you can give him 2 belts at a time. Just don't mix and match, or even 4 belts at a time. Just don't mix and match the belts and the shoulder pads
So
together.
what do you recommend?
I always do one just because I like seeing how much experience I get from each and every one, but occasionally I'll do 4 at the same time. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm gonna give him one. Whoa, that's a lot of experience, man.
Right, I told you.
That's great, dude. All
And
right, and it gave me some small patchwork boots. And let's see, those are AC3, and the cloth shoes I'm wearing on are AC2, so that's an upgrade.
yeah, but can you wear it? Is it the right size?
Oh no, no, I can't wear it. Daggone it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give him 4 here, and we are at almost exactly right there on the 3rd bubble. So let's see how much we get out of this. Oh my God, guys, we
Wow.
got a bubble and a half out of 4 belts.
Crap,
Now,
I'm about to level, dude.
yeah, and be very, very careful, guys. You can get belts in return, the small tattered belts. You can't turn those back in, so try not to get them mixed up with your Crushbone belts. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything for that. And I think if you mix and match the two together, I can't guarantee you that you will get experience for any of them, even the ones that should have been, because you did put stuff in there that shouldn't have been there. So
I just leveled.
did I.
Grass,
Nice.
man.
Nice. Okay, what else do we got? Oh yeah, grats on yours as well.
Thank you.
I don't have any more belts. Yeah, I think that's it.
I've got 5 more.
I do have tons and tons of bone chips, and there is a quest over in the High Elf City to turn into the cleric guild master. You can turn in, I think, 4 bone chips at a time, and you get a lot of faction for doing it. But you get a decent amount of experience at like level 1, level 2. I wouldn't do it past that though. You're really not going to earn that much. Plus, the bone chips on their own right will sell for about 10 platinum a stack over in Eastern Commons. Sometimes you can sell them over in Greater Fadar as well, but nah, not too often.
No wonder people pay 3 plat for these, man.
Right?
This is crazy, dude.
And now, since we can't wear any of the armor, we could either go give it to newbies, which can be rather hard to find at this time, or we can just come down the hall and sell it, and you get like 2 or 3 gold per, so you kind of recoup some of the losses. And if you're coming over here after just hunting over there, it's just all profit to you. So.
Well, okay, maybe I only have 1 pair of shoulder pads, because the other, I guess the other was a gift from somebody. It says rawhide shoulder pads, and I only have 1 pair of Crushbone shoulder pads, so I guess I won't be able to. Well, no, yeah, that's small tattered. So
Well,
yeah, only 1.
You can always hang on to it. There's always somebody who's in the exact same situation as you, trying to buy one rather than go in there and get it. Especially if they're on their way out. Like if they're gotten too high for that zone, they may just go ahead and be like, okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go turn in all the belts that I have. Oh crap, I need 1 more. And then they will go ahead and basically buy it from you for anywhere from 4 to 5 platinum for just one pad.
So you said save the armor for a newbie?
You could save it for a newbie, or you could sell it. It's really up to you on what you want to do with that. Do you need a backpack?
No, man, I'm good.
I'm gonna go
Thank you,
sell
though.
one.
I think I'm gonna sell it. Well, except for that crush pad, I'm gonna keep that one. 'Cause eventually, I'm gonna get another crush pad, I'm sure.
Let's see. So I went ahead and finished everything there. Yeah, I guess we could head on over to the chessboard. Yeah.
All right, give me just a second. Let me finish selling.
Oh, there's no rush, man.
I just got like 3 things to sell, and then we can take off. Oh no, I just bought something. Crap! Holy crap! No.
Oh, you're right. I do need to do that anyways, because I do have way too much copper on me. I don't feel like running to the bank. So
yeah,
let's see.
There's probably a bank in here, man.
Yeah, it's in the other zone. I mean, you'd have to zone over further into the town. This guy has some pretty decent stuff for sale. I mean, not too bad.
This guy right here?
Yeah, he has some of the small, fine steel plate stuff. I mean, it's way too overpriced, but just to be able to see kind of what you might want to get one day.
Oh, Hondoff Orc Slicer?
There's a Fire Rune brand here. 21 damage, 40 delay, effect ignite. It's kind of cool. Way too expensive, but...
Dwarven Ringmail. 211 platinum for something that's... Ooh, it's got magical properties, so that's not too bad. We couldn't wear it anyway, it's only medium. Ooh, there's the sword you're talking about. 2-hand slash 21. I bet somebody sold that. I bet a high-level player sold that to him.
Probably, but when they do that, they never get nearly as much as they would get from selling it to another player. Plus, they're not going to get, when somebody comes in there to buy it, they're going to pay more than it would be worth if they just bought it from another player. And I don't know if they figured that out themselves when they did that, or if there's a certain percentage markup that just happens to always work out in their favor. But yeah, you normally never want to buy anything from a vendor unless you have really, really good charisma, and even then you're going to be overpaying. There's only a few items out there that you kind of have to get from vendors. I think like the gold bars and the silver bars and stuff like that, you can't craft. You have to buy this stuff. And gems used to be where you had to buy them from the vendors, but then they came out with Canark, and Canark mobs started dropping the gems to kind of help with that. I think Seb is the greatest concentration of drop gems that I've ever seen in any of these zones. There may be another zone out there that drops them even more common than that, but man, when I was hunting in Seb, they would drop like every 3 or 4 mobs you get another gem, and it rotate between like the blue diamonds and some of the lesser ones. You know, you'd even get some of the really, really cheap ones there, but not too often. Everything was usually worth about anywhere from like 50 platinum to, you know, several hundred platinum or more.
I love Seb, man. Doesn't a lot of fine still drops over there too, right?
I don't remember if it drops over there. I think at that point I wasn't picking up trash anymore. I was just, the only thing I would ever pick up would be, you know, the named gear that, or the gear that dropped off of named mobs, because I had such even with all these weight reduction backpacks that you can get, I didn't really have a lot of space for it, and I didn't want to be weighed down by. And I hate to say fine steel is junk because it's not. I think you can earn like 17, 18 platinum for each one of them, but they weigh a lot, and you're only going to be able to pick up, a handful of them, maybe 10 or 15 of them, but then your entire inventory is full up. And for me as a cleric, what I would constantly do is I'd come into the zone. I bind myself on the outside. I'd find a group that day. I hunted that zone for whatever amount of time that I was going to be on. And then when I was done, I'd go back to the zone entrance and camp out. And then the next day I'd load in and go right back to it. So there was no going to town or trying to, sell off my stuff. I guess if I wanted to spend a few extra hours at the end of my group. But yeah, it is an actual investment because it is a long, long way from Seb to another zone that you can sell, and it's not exactly safe. So, if you've been playing for a long time and you get into a really good group and you're like, oh, just another half an hour, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to get another bubble, I'm going to get some really good experience. You do that as long as you can. When you get done, you're not like, I want to do a 2-hour trip where I might die along the way just so I can get to town and maybe make like 100 platinum.
You left me. You left me.
Oh, sorry.
I was flirting with this half-elf chick. It's my bad.
Who's AFK?
But she turned around. I was going to ask you something, but now I've forgotten, so it must have not been important.
Nah, it's alright. If you remember, just let me know, man. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you have to weigh the consequences of your actions, and a lot of the time, just getting like one gem would make you more platinum than you would make off of the fine steel stuff. So.
Oh, did you con those guards back there? They con amiably to me now.
Because you turned in more belts than I did.
Yeah, that's great, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, that really takes up your faction, dude. They love me now.
Yeah, so you can get your faction up with these guys by doing the belts, and you'll actually see some high-level people come over here and just buy belts, not for their alts, but for themselves, because at some point, you're going to have a main character, and you're going to want that character to be loved by everybody, because that's the guy you're on like 90% of the time. And so you'll come back just to work on your faction, not because you need it for a quest, not because you need it for anything in particular, but just because you want it. Like, why not? You want that guy to have the best prices, because the higher your faction is with a group of people, the better the prices they're going to sell things to you, and the better the price you're going to get from things you sell to them that have that faction. You got to be very careful, too, because you may have really good faction with a town and go in there and sell, and one of the NPCs in there just doesn't give you good prices. And it's because he specifically may have a different faction than everybody else in that town. Like the Warrior Guild will have a faction of its own versus the Clerics Guild and the Rogue Guild and so on and so forth. But a lot of them will share some of the same faction of their specific town or their specific race, things of that sort. So you can alter it in several different ways, and you want to find the one guy in the town, and there's usually at least one that will give you the best prices. And sometimes he's just the guy who gives everybody the best prices, and as you slowly increase faction with everybody in that town, you get, slightly better and better and better faction. And then, of course...
I lost you again. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I lost you again.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's my bad, dude. I was typing to someone in the guild.
That's all right. Are you coming along the radio?
There you are, yeah.
And we got somebody running behind you.
Along. Oh, really?
Yeah, but when you get here, you gotta either go right or you gotta go left, and you kind of want to go left.
Okay, toward the... Okay.
Because if you go right, that's gonna lead you over to the Cauldron, which will then lead you to Unrest if you make it there. But at our level, I doubt you will. I doubt either one of us will, even though I'm pretty familiar with it, and I could probably get us there by, trying to avoid things. But it's so dangerous, and there's roamers all over the place, and we don't have invis, and just like one hit from any of the creatures in there would probably kill us. That, yeah, you kind of want to stay away from that area. Kind of like one of those things, it's like a badge of honor that you have to get to a certain level before you're ready to go and explore. You don't just get to go off and see every zone right off the bat. It's not that easy. You gotta work for it. And it's one of the things that I think
What's that goblin doing? He's even to us. Let's kill him.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's kill him.
Ooh, no, look at that. There's an orc runner. Yeah, let's get the orc runner. He's even. And he's actually for a quest, too. Get him. There we go.
Oh, yeah. My taunt, baby.
He's for a quest. I believe he drops orders or something like that. It's a fairly easy quest once you kill him. He spawns in, I think, 2 different zones.
I've seen him in Necto's Forest, for sure.
Yeah,
So
so
that might be one of the ones he spawns in. Yeah.
yeah, but he's not always up, so you may have to kill placeholders until he spawns. So we're just getting lucky that he happens to be here. Now he'll run back and forth this little path several times, and so if you're looking for him, you can see he runs incredibly fast. And of course, given his name, Orc Running, he should, have that ability. But if you're trying to catch up with him and you're running like behind him, good luck, guys, because that's pretty a runner's pouch. Let's go ahead and look at that.
Yeah, look that, man.
And the note is rolled up. Lore item, no trade. We're gonna go ahead and loot both of those. Do we have space? Clear up some space here. Put these over here, guys. Sorry about
The
that.
goblin got away, man.
We'll catch up to him.
I was hoping to kill him.
So we will look those up later, guys, and I will show you how to turn that quest in.
Yeah, I'm interested in that, dude. I'm interested, actually, in you teaching me any quest you know of for sure. Eventually, I want to do the J-Boots quest with this guy because either that, it's going to be either that or buying soul potions, and I'd much rather have J-Boots.
Yeah, J-Boots is nice. Man, it's so camp, though, because everybody wants it for every one of their characters because it is that nice. And what happens is it just doesn't spawn nearly enough, and there's always somebody there trying to get it. There's 2 different locations it spawns in. The desert over by the Oasis of Mar is the one that most people will go to. It's the most common one that people... But then you can also go out into... What is it? The ocean or something like that. The ocean between Freeport and Butcher Block, I believe, is where it spawns. There's a 1-spawn giant, and if you kill him, he has a chance at spawning the one that you want, and that one's always camped as well. So getting that last piece, that very, very hard piece, once you get that, pretty much the rest of the quest is done, and you don't really have to worry too much about it. But let's see, what is this? He's green. We don't have to worry about that. Now we're coming over here to the chessboards. There's giant skeletons over here. We'll probably end the episode once we get here. We'll start the next episode there. Are you still behind me or no?
No, I would kill the skeleton that attacked me, dude.
You gotta let me know when you fall behind, man.
Sorry, dude. You're talking. I don't want to interrupt, man.
Nah, it's right.
Keep following this trail that we were on.
Yeah, until you get to the entrance, and then you got to take a left. But
Do you see Shaman over there?
Shaman at the chessboard?
Yeah.
I didn't get there yet. I turned around and come get you. Let's see, where are you?
Well,
are you
I'm
at the entrance?
Entrance to what?
To Greater Fader?
I'm at the entrance to his own. Yeah.
There you are.
Okay, I see you. Yeah.
Okay, so take a left over here.
Okay.
For those of you who are not familiar how to get here, it's fairly easy. I mean, this is just, you're going to head off in this direction, and it's going to lead you into kind of a dead end. There's not going to be any further that you can go. And right there where you hit the corner is pretty much right where the chessboard is. And it's a pretty cool area. It's a good place to solo if you're high enough level or if you're the right class. You will occasionally get an ad when you pull one of the mobs over here, which I, again, will show you on the next episode when we start hunting here. But, it's just one of those things. You kind of learn the area and you learn how to do it. And with the right class, if you can lull or you can root one and pull the other one and kind of beat that one down, and hopefully root holds pretty long on the other one. And if you only have to do it every so often, there's time to, med and, recover from, the hard fights so that you can do the easier ones rather quickly. But this is the reason it's called the chessboard, is there's pawns and there's, horses and the bishops and the queen. And you can kind of hear this little humming noise over here.
There's Shamma Jammin', one of our guildmates.
What's he doing over here?
I think he's gonna buff us, dude.
So again, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. If you do like these videos, please hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow our channel. We greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure to leave those comments down below. We love hearing back from you and what you think of the game and some of the memories that you had with it back in the day. Also, guys, we want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you next time.
Subscribe, guys.